Hello and welcome to another episode of NG Club Live. My name is Jeff Welpley. I am your host today, and I am joined by two spectacular little coders. Angelina Welpley. Angie, say hi.
Hi.
And Madeline Welpley. Maddie, say hi.
Hi.
We have been hard at work trying to come up with some of the agenda for NG Club and thinking about what we're going to do for our club, and but a bunch of other stuff as well. So, Maddie, what's been going on this past week for you?
My birthday.
Oh, your birthday? Really? How did that go?
It was so fun.
Good, good. Well, which is more fun, birthday cake or coding? That was a loaded question. You don't have to answer that. Okay, I know what the answer is. That's all right. Okay, Angie, what have you been up to?
My sister's birthday party.
And was your sister's birthday party fun? Okay, good.
We hit the piñata.
Yes, there was a piñata. It was lots of fun. And I would imagine that the topic of birthday will still come up throughout the show because it's fresh on your mind. But today isn't about that. Today is about coding and about teaching kids to code. And we have a very special episode today because we are going to be focusing on one of the kids' favorite games, Robot Turtles. It's a great game for people as young as even 3 years old, 4 years old, to start to learn some of the basic concepts of coding. But before we dive too much into that, I also want to give kind of just a quick news and notes updates. So just a quick thing. We did post our video last week, kind of giving an introduction to NG Club and talking about what we're going to be doing. And I've received a lot of great feedback. So thank you for everyone who responded, both publicly and privately. There's a lot of interest in people kind of keeping along with what we're trying to do to find better ways to teach really young kids, as young as like 4, 5, 6 years old, to learn how to code. So it's something that we're going to try to keep public and collaborate with a lot of other people who want to do it themselves in their own families and communities. So that's going to be something that will be a continuous effort and a lot of work this week to actually come up with our very official first class we'll try to do with. We're going to start off with some of Maddie's friends that are going to, once their school gets out in a couple of weeks, we're going to, and yes, Angie, and you, yes. Cool. Okay, so, but let's dive into the main topic of today. And before I get into like some of the nitty gritty like rules and how it works, I'm interested, Maddie, if you had to describe what is Robot Turtles, how would you describe it?
Robot Turtles is a fun game for coding, and it helps you with coding. And when you get farther up, you get more pieces, and you're like, oh, I can do a lot with this. It's just like coding, because when you get higher and it becomes easier, you can do a lot more things and fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, Maddie touches on one thing that we're going to really dive deep into, which is one of the best parts about Robot Turtles is that it's progressive, that it can start very, very simple. That's why people as young as like even 3 or 4 years old can play it. But it can get much more complex. And as it gets more complex, like the underlying concepts of coding become much more apparent. So we'll dive into all that. Angie, I'm curious though, what do you when you hear about Robot Turtles and we're playing, if you had to describe it to one of your friends, let's say, how would you describe it?
Robot Turtles is a fun game. The higher levels you get, the more funny you can get. And there's also like little things, those like blasters. You can blast this and get into this, and you can go for that. Or you could move the boxes and carry corn, or this one, that is a wall. And you can't get past it.
Yes, and what Angie's touching on is that besides the progressive thing, there's a lot of like these little like cool fun things. So I think that with any kids game, you got to have like entertainment baked into a part of it, and it definitely has that. Okay, so let's talk about the game. And for this, I'm going to kind of describe the rules kind of in general. And okay, so in general, the idea is that you have turtle masters and turtle movers. So Maddie and Angie, usually the kids, are the turtle masters. They each have a turtle, and an example of that is sorry. So this is an example of a turtle. So you are a turtle, and you are okay. And then you are trying to get a gem. So the whole objective is on the board, your turtle, and you're trying to get a gem. Now, turtle masters cannot move their piece. They can describe the way they want their turtle to move, but only the turtle mover can actually move the turtle. So usually that is one adult who is kind of managing the game and making it fun for all the other kids. So the turtle mover moves, the turtle master describes how to move, and then the board has a bunch of stuff trying to, like obstacles and things, to get to the gem. Okay, so how do you move? All right, guys, let me see the cards so you can describe that. So Maddie, you're starting to pull up some of the cards. So why don't you? I'm going to go to each of you for some of these cards to describe what they are. So hold on. So let's start with just this simple one. Wait, let's start with the simple one. Those are the more complex ones.
A forward.
So what does that mean when you show that card?
Forward one.
Right.
One.
All right, Angie. And what is it? What is this one?
This one is core.
Wait. So well, these are both similar. So they're for turning. So you can turn one way or another, right? So those are Angie. Let me see those cards. Okay. So to get started with. That's all you need is forward or to the side, and that's how you can move your piece around. And then there's other stuff too, but actually before we get into the more advanced cards, let's actually play a game, right? So Angie, why don't you jump over to the board? And no, keep yours there. I'm going to bring mine over. Okay. All right. So Angie, we're going to play it simple.
Yeah, it starts like this.
Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, no, Angie. I am Angie. I'm the turtle mover, so I am the one who sets up the board. You do not touch the board at all. Remember? Okay, get ready, Angie. You can play your first card. Pick a card and play it, Angie.
Straight.
Okay. Now, one of the objects. So Angie's the turtle master. She put down a card. I am the turtle mover. I have to move the card, but the turtle mover needs to make funny noises. That is an important part of the game, isn't it, Angie? So here is how I usually make my noises for moving. Beep, boop, bop, boop, bop, boop, bop, boop, bop, bop. Now, each turtle mover can make up their own noises. All right, Angie, keep going. And you're turning straight, okay, going straight, okay. Boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, boop. Now, Angie, let's just to show them, let's show them the bug. Bug. Okay. So when you want to, let's say because she went too far forward, a turtle master at any point can use bug to redo their turn. So if she does bug, then this one goes away, and then you go back, boop, 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 and then you can replay it. But that's fine, Angie, if we want to go back. Okay, let's keep playing. So keep putting down cards. Which one? Are you going to turn, Ange?
Yeah, but I don't know
which way? You tell me.
No, I want to turn that way, but how?
Well, try one down. And see, and this is another part of the thing, is that for younger kids, they might not know which cards do what, but you should encourage them. Angie, just put any card down, and you can always bug. So, okay, this is great, Angie. So you put the right turn. So, Maddie, don't go that way. Maddie. Boop, boop, up, boop, up. Okay, now Angie, you turned the wrong way, so you probably want to bug. Okay, boop, 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 boop. All right, now get the other one. Okay, beep, beep, boop, bop, bop. Okay, let's start doing them a little bit faster, Angie. Let's get a couple cards down.
Four fours.
Okay. So Angie's played this game for a while, so she knows that for some of the more advanced ones, you could do multiple cards at a time. We'll get into that in a minute. But just to speed this along, we're going to move this ahead. Boop, 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 boop. And then Angie. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. And then what else? Okay. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. Okay. So Angie got the jewel. So she won the game. If you have multiple players going, they switch around turns, and then you can all win the game technically. There is no one winner of the game. Now, this was a super simple example because there's nothing else on the board other than just the jewel. But that's where some of the other pieces come into play. Hold on a second.
Is Maddie doing it now?
Yeah, she's going to do it, but I just want to show a couple of other pieces. So you can also have different things. So there's boxes
that you have to open.
You can push. So you can push these. And then there are bricks where you can't, they block. You can't go past them. And then
you can blast them.
They're blast. Yeah, you can blast them.
This is a blast card.
Yeah, with the blast card. Then
make blast, blast, blast.
Right. Then it turns it to liquid, and then you can go over it. So,
Maddie, are you playing with them?
So,
oh my God.
Here,
Maddie.
you guys, let's quickly.
Maddie, you're playing.
So, Maddie, go around that side. Go around that side. Don't step over the cord. Go around that side.
Playing. Maddie's playing.
Okay. So we're gonna do a quick. Let's do this. Just to show it off, Maddie. Okay. So Maddie, we're gonna jump a couple levels. I'm gonna talk about the different progression in a second, but we're gonna jump a couple levels and just have Maddie do one of the more advanced things where you can do all cards at once. Like so, basically, there's only one turn in this version of the game. So there's a bunch of obstacles. There's only one turn. So I am jumping a couple levels, and we're gonna take a step back and talk about this. But Maddie, I want you to use all of the levels. Oh, actually, sorry, Maddie, I made a mistake. Because, hold on, this actually isn't possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so now do it.
Man, that looks good. Maddie.
Lay it all out. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say? Run program.
Run program.
Okay. So in this version, she's putting down all the cards at once, and she's saying run program. So usually, I don't have two hands available, but usually when you do this, you should point to the turtle mover should point to the card that is being executed as you're doing it. So I'm starting off with this. Turn that to liquid. Move forward. Boop, boop, bop, boop, bop. And then turn right. Boop, 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 bop. And then turn left. Good, interesting. Boop, 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 boop. And then go forward. And then it's going to push us. Boop, 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 boop. So, Maddie, you didn't actually make it there in one turn. So in this version of the game, that wouldn't have worked. We would have had to bug, right? And we go backwards. But let's just correct it on the fly. So put down the addition. Let's just for the sake of time, let's just add some additional cards to get to the gem.
This one, and this one, and then forward.
Well, you're missing a forward there. In between the two. Nope. Flip the other ones. So usually I wouldn't tell her what to do. I'd let her make the mistake. So that's one thing is that don't tell them which cards to do. So flip these for now, Maddie. Yeah, like that. Yep. I wouldn't tell them what to do. Just hold it for now, Maddie. You let them make the mistakes, bug, and then redo it because the mistakes by making the mistakes and then redoing it, that's how they learn. I mean, and that's how you learn in programming as well. So where are we? So. Well, we did that.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah. So bop 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 bop. Boop 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 boop. Bop 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 bop. Beep 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 beep. That's it. Okay, let's sit back down. So, as you can hopefully see from that, The whole idea is that it's that last one was fairly complex, and it can get even much more to different obstacles to make it more advanced. Okay.
Maddie. A good, bad, bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully that didn't please for that long. Okay. So the idea is that it can be very simple to start off with, and then it can get more complex. Now, the thing we didn't show, so at the very end, Maddie had a version where she laid out all the cards together. And the reason why that teaches you about software development is because that's sort of what happens when you're writing code, is that you write a bunch of instructions and you give it to the computer, and then the computer does those things.
So you're basically the computer, and we're basically the programmers. Okay,
yes.
So you're the computer, and so you're the computer,
Mm-hmm.
you're the computer, and we're the programmers.
That's exactly right. That is exactly what's going
Daddy,
on. What is it, Angie?
When I turn on to Maddie, she's kind of like...
That's okay. So the one additional level that's actually really important, sort of important milestone to get to, which we've started to touch on, but it's still like kind of a training process, is the idea of functions. And it's sort of building on that last one that we mentioned, where you have like a sequence. So that's your program. That's like a bunch of cards that you run. But a function is what, Matt, do you remember? Actually, do you remember what a function is? We've been trying to do this a couple times.
You do it over and over again?
Yeah, it is something you use over and over again. But what, so if you use the function card, what does that mean? Yeah, it's okay. This is one thing that I've noticed that up until what Maddie just showed is pretty straightforward. I think kids can build to it pretty quickly. But the function is like an abstract thing that it takes a little while, and it's basically a function card. Which, where is this? Oh, here. So a function card here encapsulates a sequence. So in terms of what Maddie was just doing, she had a sequence of cards that was for the entire, yes, for her entire round. But you can have a smaller sequence. So let's just say you had 3 cards. Let's just say you just had these 3 cards, and this was your sequence. And the reason why that's useful is that in programming, you often repeat the same thing over and over again. So if you define your function and you say this function card means this sequence, then you can use this function card multiple times. So you might put it down 3 different times, and that would mean that you do these 3 steps 3 times. Now, why would you want to do that? I know we've talked about this a little bit of times, but do you remember why you would want to do that, Maddie?
Well, because you wouldn't have to use that much cards. Like,
yes.
You wouldn't, like, when I did it, I ran out of room for my cards, and when you use that, you have enough room.
Maddie, that is exactly right. Right. So in the game, there's a version of it where you do all the cards at once, like Maddie did, but then the objective, you add a new objective that you want to do it with the least amount of cards possible. And then that's where the function card becomes useful. And in real programming, that is very similar because, there's different levels of programming. Writing code, you could write in bytecode like 0s and 1s, but it'd be very inefficient. It would, back in the days of mainframes and the movie, Carolyn, what's the movie? The NASA movie? The NASA movie?
Oh, with the women?
Yeah. So they had one of the best movies of the year last year of some of the women at NASA who wrote code. Hidden Figures. Yes. So Hidden Figures, the code that they were writing was very low level, and they had to write thousands of punch cards worth of code to do something very simple. And that's like low level code. But when you use higher level functions, like you sort of group things up into these functions, then you can write all that code in like 3 lines or something like that. And that's sort of a very critical concept when you get into actually writing real code. So, okay. So Maddie, or Angie, let me go to you. And what did I miss in terms of Robot Turtles and what you like about it? Is there anything we talked about that I missed? What is it?
So when you can move higher levels and you can do this.
Yeah.
It's this. So like
You can show turn it around, you can show people. So what Angie's showing you right now is,
and you can do this one.
yeah, what Angie's showing you right now, these are part of adventure packs. So in addition to just like levels that you can do just by adding like bricks and different versions of the game, since the game is so popular, they've added a bunch of stuff you can buy, essentially, that are different ways of just adding additional complexity. So like this is the one adventure quest that we
Can I see that, Dada?
yeah, you can see it. Sure.
And there's some more packs. So there's this one.
You gotta hold it up a little more, Ash.
Wait, there's this one.
Yes.
There's this one. It tells you about all the cards.
Yes.
And this one.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
There's a lot. And we have to show them inside.
Well, no, those ones are already out. It's all right. So the idea is that there's a lot of different ways you could expand to. So if your kids get into the basic game, you should keep and don't jump too far. Like that's one thing that we've noticed is that if you try to introduce some of the more advanced stuff too early on before they get the basics, then it just becomes frustrating and people don't like the kids just like give up on it. But if you build on it, you get the basic way of doing the game working, and then you add like sequences, then you add functions, then you can add these additional adventures quests. Then it like works really, really well. Do you guys agree? Okay. Good.
I agree because I have Wiggly too.
Oh, Angie, that is very relevant to what we were talking about. Congratulations on that wiggly tooth. And on that note, all right, we'll talk about that.
That is cool.
All right. So on that note, thanks, Angie, for the transition. Let's get to our picks for the week. Where we talk about basically anything that's on our mind that we're looking forward to for this next week. So you can't say birthday stuff because that was last week. So you got to say something else. And Angie, let me start with you. What are you looking forward to?
We're having a makeup day with our friend Tulay for Maddie's birthday party.
Okay, great. Play date. Maddie, what about you?
I'm going to have tryouts for my soccer.
Yes, soccer tryouts. For me, a lot of stuff going on this week. Yes, soccer tryouts are going to be great. We're going to play later today as well. And also, I'm going to meet with one of the school administrators on Tuesday to talk about NG Club at the school. So we'll see about that. And that's about it. We have a couple shows planned for the next couple weeks, so we're going to try and keep this on a roll that every week, either on Sunday. Thanks, Ange. So either on Sunday or Monday, we're going to record a new show every week, and try to keep it simple, but introduce different topics like this. So, all right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.